I have been using this small Sony speaker for about a good few months now, and I do have some thoughts on it. This is the Sony SRS XB12. Sadly, I am not sponsored, so these are just my general thoughts on the speaker. I believe I was gifted the speaker from a previous job that I had. I think it was actually at Amazon. This is the box that it came with. I believe I got the speaker before 2020, so I've had it for a good little while, but I did not start using the speaker until July of this year. I do have some thoughts. I'm gonna split it up into the good things that I like about the speaker, and then I'm gonna talk about the not so great things. First of all, the setup is very easy. All you do is you hold down the power button to pair it with your phone. It pops up under my Bluetooth menu settings without any problems, really. It's a very lightweight speaker. I know my fiance carries the speaker with him in his cup holder part of his backpack, and I mean, look at this. It's so lightweight. It's got a strap to it so that you can throw it wherever you don't throw it. I meant to say you can hang it up wherever you want. I've hung this speaker up in the shower, which, not to mention, one of the best parts about the speaker is that it is waterproof. While I'm doing my nighttime routine, I don't have to worry about damaging the speaker with water or anything. I've had it downstairs in the kitchen, and that's been completely fine. Very portable, very easy to take with you anywhere. If you watched my Beats headphones review, you should know that I am a sound quality nerd. So with this speaker, I do like the sound quality. It is very nice. The box literally says extra bass, and you can tell that the bass is up there. I do not, surprisingly, use any equalizer settings when I am using the speaker. And kind of slowly taking us into the cons of the speaker, I notice when I am using some sort of sound setting in the equalizer, that lowered the sound on the actual speaker. Like, naturally, I do know that if you're using some sort of EQ setting, the volume is going to be a little bit lower, which I've noticed with all of the different pairs of headphones that I use, but specifically with the speaker. If you've got something going like a sink running, shower running, the volume isn't going to be where it should be or where you would probably like it to be. I learned that if I cut off the EQ settings completely, I do get better sound out of the speaker. But continuing on with that con side, I have found that a few weeks ago, the speaker kept disconnecting from my phone. I would cut it on, and then it would start flashing, and it would do like the beeping sound that it does when you first turn the speaker on. And it would just drop the music. Like, it would just stop playing, and then the beeping sound would come back, and it'll like reconnect and keep playing, but like over and over again. To troubleshoot that, I would have to select the forget the device option on my phone in my settings and then reconnect it via Bluetooth. That was pretty annoying. I somehow fixed it, I guess, because it hasn't been doing it lately, but a few weeks ago it was doing that back to back, so that was pretty irritating, especially if you're in the middle of doing something and you're very focused and you've got the music going, and then all of a sudden the music just drops. Yeah, that was not fun at all. Going back to the volume, when it's dying, you will know, because the volume itself will go so much lower, it's kind of painful. So if you're not in a position to plug up the speaker and let it charge for a little bit, it's just the volume's not there. Like, the volume is extremely low. You have to let that charge build before you can actually turn the volume up to where you want it to be again. And then the cord that comes with the speaker itself is not that long. So if you wanted to plug it in and keep using it, if you're not in a good range to continue to use the speaker, you just gotta let it go for a little bit. That does suck again if you are busy and the volume just goes low on you. Yeah, I actually know it's not the best, but in order for me to hear everything at the full volume that I want to hear it at when I'm using the speaker, I actually keep it plugged in just to avoid that whole situation. With that being said, I am not completely sure of the charging time because the speaker is always plugged in for me. It used to definitely take over an hour to charge, and for it to get a full charge, maybe 2 hours or so, which is not the fastest charge. I'm thinking that the battery life is not great as a whole. Allegedly, when I'm doing my nighttime routine, I take a minute. Okay, so if I'm getting myself ready for bed, right, it can take up to 45 minutes to an hour because I do everything. And that's including if I decide to continue to listen to music afterwards. I think the battery life is probably maybe 3 hours. Before I started keeping the speaker on the charger, the battery life wasn't that crazy, to be honest. And I mean, it's a pretty small speaker, so that's not completely shocking to me, but it's kind of not the best battery life. For a starter speaker, it is pretty decent. I hope to be sponsored with Sony one day, but this is not sponsored, so I didn't have to pay anything for it. I have no idea how much it cost. Wait, let me look that up actually. Let me see how much this is now, if they're still selling it, because for it to be a free speaker, I can't complain too much. It's not the exact same speaker, but pretty similar. On Target, they've got a similar speaker to this for $50. On Amazon, that's a renewed speaker for $40. I would not pay that, to be honest with you. There's one on eBay for $22. I think that's fair. Like a $20-ish range. I think that's pretty fair. I don't have a lot of experience with speakers like this. I am a headphones person. That's mostly what I listen to music on, either that or my MacBook, which has pretty decent speakers on it itself. So for this to be like my first big experience with the speaker, it's not bad. Like I was saying before, I wouldn't pay too much money for something like this model, but I mean, to get you started and to get you introduced and to have this temporarily until you can graduate to a better quality speaker is ideal. That's why I'm like, I look forward to, I don't want to say this one breaking because that would actually like break my heart if I'm being real with you. I look forward to getting into different types of speakers and seeing how well they work in comparison to this one. It's not the greatest. It's good for entry level, but it's also not complete garbage. So there's that. It's functional. That sounded really shady. I don't know how to... It's not a bad speaker, but it's also not something that I would shell out a lot of money for. It's still my daily driver.